viste?
No.
¿El que te viste o el que te desviste?
No, es muy sensual.
Claro. Is it the time to say goodbye?
No, we have 10 more.
Ya, carnal.
Tienes enojo, tienes rabia, tienes coraje. Mataste a tu hija. Yo pensé que me dieras un beso y no quería.
Sí, porque...
Quítate la camisa, Joaquín.
Muchas gracias, caramba. ¿Qué tal,
Do you laugh at yourself?
Do I?
Are you shy, Sofía?
I'm shy, I am.
Para conquistar a tantas mujeres en tu vida, ¿qué hacías?
Los expresidentes son como los jarritos chinos.
Son muy bonitos, pero ¿qué hago con ellos?
Oye, que tiene razón.
¿Tienes algo?
Esas son viejas, caramba.
In Mexico. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Because they had no idea of Bangladesh.
Yeah, I know, I know. They don't have any idea of Mexico either. Dr. Yunus.
Yeah.
Mohamed Yunus, premio Nobel de la Paz 2006. Wow. Thank you so much, Mohamed Yunus. Thank you very much. Él es de Bangladesh. And the very first thing I would like to ask you is why isn't it ironic a Nobel Peace Prize being an economist? Didn't it surprise you? I mean, isn't it ironic?
No, there was a speculation going on for many, many years before 2006 when I got the Nobel Peace Prize. Almost 15, 16 years. People was, oh, you're going to get the Nobel Prize. So there was some saying you're going to get it for economics, some saying you're going to get it for peace. But finally, when it happened, by that time people were tired that this guy is not going to get it. Suddenly it happened. And it was for peace. So we were very happy. The whole country was kind of delighted or celebrating it everywhere that something happened for the country.
But it didn't surprise you, like the Nobel Peace Prize instead of the economic peace?
You got used to it because there's speculation on both sides.
Okay.
Saying that peace prize or economics. So finally something happened.
Yeah, wow, something big deal.
Big deal.
Very big deal.
Absolutely. It's
Very big deal. Are you aware of what's going in Mexico? What's going on in Mexico? The current event in Mexico?
I just hear a little bit, so I shouldn't make any comment on that because maybe I don't know exactly what is happening. I know that politically there are lots of tension going on right now.
What do you think of that? I mean, maybe you don't.
Well, I'm coming from Bangladesh, so you can't beat us on all those kinds of political turmoil, and we have something called hartal. So if you go there, suddenly you see whole country is in a dead stop situation. Nothing is moving because parties announce a general strike, and it goes on and off, and so we have to live through all these things.
Okay, but many of the things we're facing now in Mexico, like trafficking, drug trafficking, corruption, illiteracy, is that due to poverty, Dr. Yunus?
The way I have been talking about it, you see, I said, the way we have designed the whole structure of what we call capitalist system, these things are built into it. So with that system, you cannot get over this. You can reduce it a little bit, improve a little bit, reform a little bit, but the system keeps out cranking this up because the whole system is geared towards money. Money making is the sole objective of human life. It cannot be like that. Money cannot be our obsession. Today it become an addiction. You make money, you don't know why you make money. You understand $1 million maybe, but you don't understand why $1 billion. What do you do with that? Why multiple $1 billion? What do you do with that? But you have to keep on earning that money. And the more higher you go in the income level, more capacity you have to suck the juice from the bottom. See, this is the system. So you create income disparity. The people at the top are very juicy, but only few. Bottom
only a few,
very few. Not only country-wise, globally, there are only 85 people in the whole world which has more wealth than the bottom half of the entire population, 3.5 billion people. Imagine what kind of disparity you have. So this is a part of that thing. Poverty is created by the system, not by individual human beings.
Capitalism?
This is what the capitalism is all about. So what we are trying to...
So capitalism is responsible of poverty?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Who else did you want to blame? It's not the people, definitely. It's not their fault.
It's the system.
It's a system. That's a capitalist system that we built. That's what creates poverty. That's what creates income disparity. That's what creates climate problems. All those problems.
And that's what's going on in the Western countries, no?
Same thing. You don't think that just because they are a rich country doesn't mean that they're a happy country. The same problems because you follow the same system. Because the whole dedication of human life is chasing money. You ignore everything else. In the process, you do things which is terribly unacceptable. But it goes on. You cannot change that. If you say you have to fix the problem of poverty, problem of drug, problem of income distribution, you say, well, let government do it. We are busy making money. If the citizens ignore these things, you have no chance you can fix those problems. That's where we are coming up, creating new kind of structural situation that say instead of interpreting human being as only money makers, where he behaves like a robot, as if he is a money making robot.
Are you a humanist?
I don't know what you will call it, but this is how I have been interpreting. I said human being is much bigger than being a robot. Human beings are multidimensional, not single dimensional. Today it is interpreted as single dimensional. All you do in your lifetime make money. I said this is an interpretation on the assumption that human beings are selfish beings. All they do is selfish pursuits. I said human beings are selfish, at the same time selfless. So it's the same thing, it's together. But you're using only selfishness, you're ignoring the selflessness. So that's what creates the problem.
And individualistic all the time, no?
Because you're selfish has to be individualistic. Everything is for me. That's the whole interpretation of selfishness. In the business, everything has to be for me. I don't care for what happens to others. So we are saying since human beings are multidimensional, why don't we take one other piece of human being, put it into the business world? Selflessness. So we created business on selflessness. We call them social business. That's the summit we are holding in Mexico City right now. This campaign, this work is going on in many countries. We call these businesses as social business.
What is a social business?
It's basically a non-dividend company to solve human problems. So in conventional business, or the one that we already know, everything is chasing money. Here is solving problems. So you kind of make it a difference.
Okay.
Change it.
Money doesn't necessarily solve problems. Not necessarily.
You see, again, you're saying money itself. I'm saying money chasing doesn't solve problems.
Okay.
Money has many different uses. If you keep on chasing money, that doesn't solve problem. It creates problem.
Okay.
But when you create a business on the basis of solving problems without having any intention of making personal money, suddenly you see that business has another use in solving problem. Business is a very powerful tool in solving problems of the people. We have done it in many countries today. That's why we are very excited about it. Many countries are adopting these social businesses. Countries in Bangladesh, we have done lots of social businesses. And other countries like we work in Brazil, we work in Colombia, Haiti, in Albania. And other countries in Europe are using idea of social business, like in Germany, in France.
Give me an example of a social business. Let
me give you an example. In Bangladesh, we don't have much electricity.
Okay.
Lots of people around the country don't have electricity, have kerosene lamps. So I thought, why don't I try to solve this problem? Because it creates health problem, it creates a problem of pollution and all that. Why don't we bring solar energy in the country? Everybody said now solar energy is a very expensive thing, it's good for Europe, not for Bangladesh. I said let me try at least, find out, make it very small, because our need for energy is very small. So I created a company called Grameen Energy to bring solar energy in the country, solar home system. 18 years back. I started the company, started selling solar home system. Initially, it's so difficult to convince people that you can pay and also benefit from that. But gradually, people got used to it. So we started selling 10 solar home system per month, 20 solar home system per month, 100 solar home system per month. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You want a coffee? I'm being rude. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
What is the only thing I can take? I don't drink coffee, so.
Oh, never?
No drink, no coffee, no tea, nothing.
Okay, only water.
Only water.
Okay.
So now, after 18 years, we sell more than 1,000 solar home system per day.
Wow.
We have reached to 1.5 million homes with solar energy. So that company we created not for making money for myself or anybody else. It was a company to solve problem. Energy was the problem, so we solved that problem.
Okay.
That's an example of social business.
Social business. Why did you choose Mexico to do this forum this year?
Why not? I thought this is a very attractive country.
It is. I mean,
it is. So
I love this country.
Yes, indeed.
But why?
We thought we should.
You were invited, and then
we were invited by Mexico City. The enthusiastic group came to our previous summit, which we held in Kuala Lumpur in November. So government representatives came, city representatives came, NGOs came. So they appealed that we hold our summit next year in Mexico City. There are 2 other cities from other countries who were interested, and they were offering the same benefit to us. So after discussing with them, seeing their commitment, their enthusiasm, we said, why not? This is because it's the first time we'll be doing it in Latin America. So that's important.
It's the first time in Latin America.
That's right.
Okay.
So,
and this is a country where half of the population is poor. So, and this is what you talk about, and this is what you've been working on since, I don't know,
many years.
all your lifetime. So that shouldn't be like, I mean, that would be a reason.
This is one good reason to come, just because we see that the social business will be very useful in the context of Mexican situation, which is similar to many other countries. It's not, you're not unique in your situation. You're rather, I would say, you're a lucky country compared to other countries. So we thought this would be good, and we'll have an opportunity to get many Latin American participants in the summit, because people cannot travel from Latin America to come to Kuala Lumpur, for example, or any other country in Asia or Australia or something. So this we thought it would be convenient for them. That's why we're here, and we're very happy that we made this.
This is not your first time in Mexico. You've been here
many times.
Since when? 20 years ago?
At least 20 years, yeah.
Were you always interested in Mexico?
No, it just happened that way. One is Tijuana, Mexico. They started microcredit programs way back. When I was visiting California, they came to California to meet me and insisted that I should come and visit them and seeing how they are doing in Tijuana, Mexico. They are running a small project in Tijuana, Mexico on a garbage dump. People kind of look for things and so on for the thing. They are exploited by other people, don't have any money for starting their business. So they organized themselves with a microcredit program. That's the first time I came to Mexico. And then since then I came to Puebla, Mexico. We had a microcredit summit in Puebla, Mexico, about 10 years back. Queen Sofia came and everybody came. So we had that, and President Fox was the president at that time. And President Fox became a very...
he was very enthusiastic about microcredits.
He started in his own state, in Guanajuato. And then he invited me to come to Guanajuato. At that time I couldn't come. But when he became president, he again insisted that I should come. Guanajuato is doing so good. Now he's just starting it all over Mexico. So I came. So there's another series of meetings, went to Guanajuato and so on and so forth.
How did you start in your country doing this? I mean, you were born in a very poor country as well.
Yes, a poor country.
Did that inspire you to do this?
We were described as the poorest country in the world, so you can imagine. That's why I say you're a lucky country. It is accidentally because people are suffering so much, hunger and poverty everywhere. So I saw the village next door to the university campus where I was teaching. A lot of poverty, and I teach economics. So I felt bad that economics has no meaning to these people. So they're useless.
Yeah, it's useless,
It's useless for me. So I thought, personally, I want to be useful to people.
You studied, sorry,
Economics.
Economics in the States.
In the States, I did my
and
PhD. Then I went back to Bangladesh, and I started teaching there. So what I did, I started to go to the village every day to see if I can make myself useful to people, doing little things for them. Then I saw loan sharking in the village, tiny loans given to people, take the whole control of their life, take everything away from them. So I felt bad that it happens like that. So then I thought I can solve this problem. Why don't I lend money myself? If I lend money myself...
With your own money?
Own money, yeah. Then they don't have to go to loan sharks. So I don't have to worry about all these problems and that their exploitations and so on. So I can resolve this exploitation business. So I started lending money.
But there's never enough, no? I mean...
Yeah, I didn't worry about it. I said if I can do 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, good enough.
Okay.
Good enough. At least as an individual, I have done something.
Okay.
Rather than saying it's too small, it's an ocean. What is the difference with one drop? One drop is one drop. But it's their life. Their life is better.
It's one life, of course.
It's one life, absolutely. So, and it became very popular. Everybody wanted to take money because everybody had the same problem. And as it grew, my money ran out. Because everybody's taking money. I don't have that kind of money. So I went to the bank.
You were well off? I mean...
I'm pretty much. I'm a teacher. I earn enough. I don't have to worry about
the family.
Okay. Well placed. So I was doing that. I didn't worry about anything. Then went to the bank to see if the bank should start doing the same thing. Bank said no. So then struggle began between me and the bank. Ultimately, over several months, it was resolved by me. I said, why don't you accept me as a guarantor? I'll sign all your papers and I take the risk. You give the money. If they don't pay back, I'll pay back for them. So bank had to accept that because this is in their rule book that you can do that.
Okay.
So finally they accepted it and I started signing papers, as many papers they could give me, and the money goes to the people. Luckily it worked. People were paying back, so I was very happy with that. This is how whole microcredit idea began, and it flourished. We created a bank called Gameen Bank. Now it is countrywide.
What does that mean?
Gameen means village. Very simple.
Okay.
Village bank. It's a village bank. So we work all over Bangladesh, every single village in Bangladesh. We have 8.5 million borrowers.
Wow.
All women, 97% women.
That's very interesting.
I know you like that.
Yeah, I love that. How did you know?
I can see that.
Yeah. You empowered poor and you empowered women mainly, no? How did that happen also? I mean...
Again, it's a battle between me and the bank. I was accusing the bank they don't lend money to the poor and they don't lend money to any woman, even if she's rich. They said, no, that's not true. I said, it's true because your paper says so. I said, your loan go to people who are 99% men, only less than 1%.
Well, again, in your country, I mean...
No, later on I found out it's not a Bangladeshi phenomenon. It's all
no, it is not. Of course it is not.
Same kind of thing happened everywhere
worldwide,
else.
I know.
So when I began my work, I wanted to make sure half the borrowers in my program are women. That's my deliberate decision that half the borrowers at least half the borrower. And it took a long time to achieve it, 6 years to achieve that, because women said, don't give the money to me, I don't know anything about money, give it to my husband. He's the one who takes care of the money. I don't want to touch money. I'm afraid of money. So it was a very slow process. It took a lot of time to build confidence in the women, to get the fear out of them, because it's fear which is protecting them from anything else from outside. Because society has always imposed fears after fears in the minds of the women.
It's cultural.
It's cultural. It's cultural. It's just done it that way. So after we could succeed to build confidence, they started taking money, and we came to 50-50. Then we saw money going to the family through women brought so much more benefit to the family than the same amount of money going to the family through men. Then we said, what is the beauty of 50-50? Why don't we do it the way it should be done? Because if it is same money can benefit the family more, then we should address the women more. So we started addressing women and emphasizing the women. and gradually number of women become bigger and bigger. Today it's 97%.
Wow.
And in Bangladesh, where women are always kept behind,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
There's lots of money in their hand, and they own the bank. Bank is owned by the borrowers, so it's not that just take the money. Today they receive annually about $1.5 billion in loans, and that transforms their life. And we started at the invitation in the USA, in New York City, same program, because there are many people who cannot take money from the banks.
Well, I mean, again, this is ironic because banks lend money to the rich people, not to the poor people.
Yeah, that's my first point. I said, you created a very funny institution.
Yeah.
You are supposed to lend money, but you lend money to people who already have lots of money.
Just to make more money.
Exactly. And you don't want to give money to people who don't have money. I said, logically, the thing should have been the other way. You should be lending money to people who don't have money. And after you have done that, then you go to the other people.
What made you believe that they were always going to pay back?
I have no idea whatsoever.
It was risky.
I was not worrying about risk. I was saying it has to be done, and we must find a way to overcome whatever difficulty comes in. So I started, and it was advantageous because I was not doing the whole country. I was doing only few people.
Only the village.
Very few people in the village in the beginning. And when it works, it expanded. Few more people. Still it worked.
Do you always pay back?
They always pay back. That's why government banks repayment always remain very high, near 100%. So as I was explaining that in New York City we are doing that, and the repayment rate is near 100%, 99.4%. We have 8 branches in New York City now, with 25,000 borrowers. So then other cities became interested in our work. So we started work in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in Omaha, Nebraska.
Who qualifies?
Poor person. One has to be extremely poor to qualify to join Grameen Bank.
And then they had to demonstrate what do they want the money for, or they have to sign something?
Nothing. Everything has to be done in terms of forming a group of 5 women. If I'm a woman, extremely poor, bank will say, well, you qualify, but you have to find 4 other friends of yours who are exactly the same situation that you are in, extremely poor.
It's like a pyramid.
It's like a pyramid. So I come around and find 4 other friends and form a group, then we talk to the bank. The bank will explain how they do it and answer our questions, and work will begin. And the work begins, out of the 5, 2 of us will get the first loan, so that not everybody will get it. But we have to select who choose the first 2 will get the loan. So
the group itself
group decides who gets it, how much she gets it.
Okay.
Once they go through all these exercises and they say she gets it, she gets it, she gets so much, she gets so much, then it's recommended to the bank. Bank gives her this, her this, and every loan is paid back in weekly installment. And if they started paying back, then they say, okay, give us the 2 more.
Okay.
Then other 2 comes in, and they get the same thing. And we decide, 5 of us decide who gets it, and the last one finally gets it, and the whole system works.
Okay. Now, do they use the money to make any business, family business, social business, or just to survive? I mean,
all Grameen Bank loan, hopefully all microcredit loan, are given just for income generating purposes.
Okay.
That's the word we use, income generating. Meaning that you have to use it for some business. This is not a consumption loan. You don't go and buy something and consume it. That's not the purpose. You earn money and then consume, but don't use the capital for consumption. Capital is there to generate income for you. So once income is generated, then you can make use of it whatever way you want. So that they understand it very clearly. We don't have to spend a lot of time to make them understand. And they protect that money very well. That's what our focus on women. Women does it much more better way than the men. Women always want to get the best mileage out of the money we gave them, so that they can achieve much more than anybody else. So this is how it works, and it is spread over the whole country. Now that idea has spread everywhere. As it comes to Mexico, Mexico has lots and lots of these microcredit programs.
I know. How are we doing regarding that microcredit?
It's good. At the same time, there are problems here also. What we call loan sharking detection, the business microcredit being interpreted to become or being used to make money personally. That's where it gets distorted. We wanted to make microcredit as a problem-solving business, not any intention of having personal income out of it. That's why we call the social business thing. This, in many countries, such thing happen. In Mexico is one, where microcredit was used to make personal money for people who were in much better situation. So as a result, interest rate went up and so on and so forth. Yeah.
What was your profit? What's your profit of all this?
Me personally, I don't own any single share in Grameen Bank. It's owned by the borrowers.
Okay.
So a question of
since day one, you never made?
Never. I created many other companies. I told you about the solar energy and so on. More than 60 companies.
And that's your business.
That's my business, but I don't own any. I don't take any profit from any company because I created them as social business to solve problem. Each one is to solve a specific problem. So that idea that business in a certain way, if you design it the right way, it solves problem. It doesn't give you any money, but you get the satisfaction that you have solved problem.
And that's your benefit, and that's your profit.
That's my excitement. I keep saying that in money-making businesses, profit is the happiness. The more money you make, more happy you get. So here is a happiness equal to profit. I said, in social business, making good to the people, other people, bringing happiness to other people is the happiness for you. It's a super happiness. So it's a question of which happiness you look for. It's your personal choice, whether you want to seek happiness by getting more and more money, or seek happiness by seeing that you impact in so many people's life.
Well, you have both of those, no? Because of your companies and because
no,
of what
in company I don't want, all of them are social business.
All of them?
All of them are social business. Whenever I create a business, I do it for only one purpose, to solve a problem.
Always?
Always, yeah.
Now, another problem we face here in Mexico is unemployment. And again, it's not unique, no? But this can solve the problem because you self-employed, no? I mean,
yes, for like the microcredits,
with the microcredits,
Then we created a broader area. I raised the question that the economic system that we have is flawed. That's why we create all this problem of poverty and everything. And problem of unemployment is also created by this system. Human being is a go-getter. There's no question of he or she become unemployed. Unemployment comes from the wrong interpretation of a human being. In the capitalist system of the present time, the interpretation of a human being is a job seeker. He goes in the job market and finds a job, that's his life.
And to work for somebody else.
Somebody else, you see? Who said that people have to work for somebody else? That's the whole question. It is the system which made you believe that you have to go for somebody else to work for. And they said in this system, the economic system, they said there are only few entrepreneurs. The rest of the human population has to work under them. And they are the boss always. I said that's not true. Because when we were in the caves, old days, we are not sending job applications from cave number 1 to cave number 5. Do you have a job for me? No. We just went ahead and get things done. And that's the spirit, that's the DNA we have. But somehow we are all convinced, we put our in education system, that we tell our young people work very hard to get the best grade so that you can get a best job. I said, that's a silly thing. Why should anybody be going for a job? So what we are doing in Bangladesh, addressing that unemployment problem, we create social business fund. We encourage all the young people in Grameen families, saying that you tell yourself again and again that I'm not a job seeker, I'm a job creator. So behave like a job creator. World will change completely. Come up with a business idea. Well, you have a business idea, we have the money. We invest in your company or invest in your business. So money is not your problem because I'm going to
give you the money.
Give you the money. So you become successful. We work together to make you successful. When you're a successful businessman, you return the money that I gave you, exactly the same amount. You don't have to give me a penny more because we are a social business.
No interest, no.
Nothing, because it's an equity, so interest question doesn't arise. I gave you capital. So you return my capital, exactly the same amount. In a social business, I'm not supposed to take any profit out of you. So my job is done, and you continue and you create jobs for other people if they want to work for you. So that way, every single person become an entrepreneur. But we didn't have that. Our financial system doesn't have that. I said, this unemployment is not natural to human being. It is artificially imposed on human being. We could undo the whole thing.
We're immersed in that. I mean, we live in that, under that.
Because we believe in the system that we have. We are not challenging it. We are not challenging why I'm full capacity human person. I have all the activity, all the energy in the world. I want to work. Why should you tie me up in some invisible chain that no, you cannot work? You throw me into the dustbin as if I'm nothing. I'm a scrap of something. I'm a human being, productive human being. You don't give me a chance. It's not just one person. It's thousands of them, millions. Of them, billions of them.
But what's going on? Are we running out of ideas or of imagination or what?
We are mesmerized by the system. We started believing in it, staying with it. We don't question. We don't question why I'm not allowed to work. Who stops me? Who builds the wall in front of me that I cannot work? I destroy that wall and I say I'm going to work. You can't stop me. And that's the entrepreneurship. But you have not opened the door for entrepreneurship. I'm never allowed to think as an entrepreneur. I was always encouraged to think in terms of how do I appear before the job interview. That's what I was trained for.
As an employee?
As an employee. I said, why should you be an employee? Employee starts, when you first take your job, you start your job at the very bottom of the ladder.
Very.
Absolutely.
Ask all of us.
Yes, everybody, always at the bottom. I said, you're a big human being. Why should you squeeze yourself to do tiny little thing? Why don't you do things which is appropriate for your size? Great thing, big thing. And if you become entrepreneur, you start at the top. You don't go to the top. You are designed for the top. You're not designed for the bottom.
The top of a very tiny micro something.
Doesn't matter. I'm the boss. Maybe this woman who takes $30, $40, $50 to start a business, she's her boss. Nobody dictates her what to do. She's not working for somebody. If you work for somebody in somebody's home... Have you ever worked for somebody else? I was a teacher, so I
of course, at
worked
school,
for that. Yes, do that.
And how do you feel?
Well,
unhappy?
I enjoyed being teacher, so that was no problem. That made me happy, and I have always enjoyed that. Yeah.
But
I did.
There has to be a but.
Of course. The but is I didn't like the way things done and so on. So that way I didn't stay there very long. So I started doing my own things and kind of departed from the system.
Okay, you don't teach no more?
No, I don't teach.
Okay.
Not in the university. People say I'm still teaching. I'm always talking about...
Yeah, you're always talking about what you did.
What I feel, what I think and so on. So I do that a lot.
So what would you say to young people now that you're here in Mexico?
For young people in Mexico or anywhere else,
wherever,
I say the same. I say
believe in yourselves?
Believe in yourself is one. And also believe in saying that you're not a job seeker, you're a job creator. So your mindset should be transformed completely. And as a young person, as a lucky young person, living in this era, in this age, you are a privileged person. You have so much technology in your hand. In our generation, at your age, we didn't have anything. We couldn't dial something and communicate, or push something and communicate. It's coming, and you start with your mobile phone, you start with your with your Facebook and all the things that you have. We had to use pen and a paper to write a letter. You probably don't know how to write anymore. You just type it out and send everything, and send in seconds it goes. We had to put it in an envelope and go and put it in a real mailbox. Wait for months to get a reply. Yeah. And then when you get a reply, you're so excited you got a reply. Before you open the envelope, you waited. You had patience, see what is inside of it. Today, it's seconds you get back and forth. Distance doesn't matter anything today. So you're a lucky person. You have enormous capacity, enormous power inside. You feel that you have enormous capacity. Then you ask yourself, how you're going to use this capacity. If you don't use this capacity, if you don't use this power, it will be all wasted. And it will be gone. So you will not even know that you had that power. So you better use it. You can change the whole world yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Never say you have to do it. You do it yourself. You have that power, you can do it. And that's the way it should be. People should be dedicating themselves in transforming this world as we see it.
Do you truly believe it's still possible? I mean, with the system like it is?
Of course it is possible. If I don't believe that I'm a job seeker, who can force me to take a job?
Shall I quit?
Yeah.
Shall I quit my job?
It's up to you. Yeah, why not?
I don't know,
yeah,
I'm asking.
Absolutely, yes, why not? Probably you'll do much better. Yeah. Anybody will do much better than doing the job. That's true. Because you are using a very limited capacity of yourself. That's for sure. Because job defines what you can do. And you cannot do anything else. So when you are free, you have what you do now and you have more that which you don't do now. So you're a bigger person and you're able to do bigger things. So you create an environment others too.
But it's scary, no?
It's scary because you're coming from the world where we are in a prison. So outside the prison is scary. If you put a bird in a cage...
The comfort zone, no?
Yes, you're outside the comfort zone. So if you put a bird in a cage for years and years, and if you open the door, he doesn't know what to do. He goes around, comes back to the cage again. It's very convenient for him. So when you say scared to do that, because this is your prison, your cage. You feel comfortable here. You don't want to get out. For young people, that's not true. Because he's not in the prison yet. So he said, no, I'm not going to do that.
They're not scared whatsoever.
Yes, absolutely, not scary at all. So he said, I'm going to create something on my own. I can do that. I can make it happen. And then whole society changes, everything changes. Then we feel that all of us have capacity. Nobody can make me unemployed. I said the whole word unemployment itself should be unemployed. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. It's terrible. It's too heavy.
Yeah, human being has
It's a burden. It's too heavy.
Absolutely. It's no reason. And people suffer so much. As if they're given the understanding as if he or she is the reason why she is unemployed.
Well, people commit suicide because of unemployment.
Because of that. Because society says you are not fit for our society because you're unemployed. As if it's her fault or his fault. No, it's not fault. The kind of economy we has built, it says, I have no room for you. That's all it says. Then why did you build that system where you have no room for people? It's not one or two people. That's what it is. Almost half the population of the entire world will fall into that category, that they have no work to do. So we need to redesign the system. If we want to create a new society where there will be no poverty, no unemployment, will not destroy the planet, all we have to do is to redesign the theoretical framework and everything starts falling.
Okay, so you've been with leaders all around the world, political leaders and social leaders, and do you think they want to do that? I mean, will they get along? Because
it's funny
then
thing.
Again,
it's a funny thing because I'm a very welcome guest. People invite me to talk. I go and explain. They immediately they see it makes sense to them, but they can't go back and do it because they are entranced by their system and so on and so forth. But individuals are free. They are not the leaders who have to make a decision.
Individuals, we can always say, yeah,
always
makes sense.
Absolutely.
But
if it makes sense, we can go ahead and do it.
Why do you truly believe it is going to happen? Do you think it is going to happen sooner or later?
It's all about what I think and what you think. That's all. If we think this is the right thing, it will happen. If you think this is the wrong thing, it will not happen. It's all between two of us. If you think, if I think, it will happen.
But we need President Obama to think that as well, and President Peña, and President Putin, and No, we need our leaders.
Maybe not. Maybe they are in an old-fashioned way. So why we wait for them to tell us what we feel is right? Until they say it right, I can't accept it as right. That's not the right thing.
Because in order to change the system,
yes, I can change it, you can change it. We didn't have microcredit in this world. Now we brought microcredit everywhere. It's not a government who did it. It's not some big World Bank did it. Just individual did it. You look around.
A Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, because you did it because that's why they gave you Nobel Peace Prize. But look at Mexico. You look at all those microcredit people who are doing it. They're not doing it for Nobel Peace Prize. they feel they strongly this is the right thing to do, and they do it, and they enjoy doing that. So that's what, because they feel, not because the government has said it or president has said it. Now luckily presidents are also saying that, so that's good. So once we believe that social business is working, they see there's in an area that we have no unemployment anymore, we change that with our own efforts. That government has to come around, because government cannot ignore what is the reality of the situation, because they cannot solve it. Only way governments can solve the unemployment and poverty is to write a check for them every month. That's not a solution. That's only you're hiding the problem by giving them money every month. But in the meantime, you're taking away their initiative, their human capacity to be creative and productive. You start in one generation, one group of people, and they pass on that dependence to the state to the next generation and the next generation. What kind of system is that? The system should be where people would be enabled to do the things they are able to do. Solve the problem of unemployment rather than give them a check. Giving check, I understand, I accept it, because people are in distress because of some flaw in the system.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of them. But at the same time, we have to make sure, why are they here? Why don't we fix the system so that they are not here? They feel tremendous amount of pain in them, because I'm in a situation like this. I don't want to be in a situation like this. So how to change that? And it's a very simple thing. It's not a complicated kind of rocket science. It's saying that I'm able to do this. Like I was giving example of what we are doing in Bangladesh. We created a social business fund and asked the young people to come with business ideas. Then everybody said, oh, I don't have a business. I said, okay, you wait. Somebody said, I have a business. Okay, here you go. So when some people started doing businesses with this money, the guy who said, I don't have business, said, I have a better business idea. Suddenly his mind starts working, because he believed in the old-fashioned way, so he thought, no, I should better take a job. When he sees his friends are all going in this direction, he said, my God, I'm missing the bus. Let me go and do it, because I can do better than that. So everybody becomes interested. I said 8.5 million borrowers in Grameen Bank, for example. These women never had any opportunity to earn 1 penny in their life. They never been business.
Never.
We converted them. Now they believe them. They are very confident businesswomen, and they step by step they are
empowered.
And empowered women, out of nowhere.
And that has changed society.
Absolutely,
also.
Everything is done. Today in Bangladesh, Millennium Development Goal, #1 goal is to reduce poverty by half by 2015. Bangladesh has achieved that 2.5 years before the terminal date. Poverty has reduced by half 2.5 years before. So what is one of the most...
So it is possible.
It's possible, that's what I'm saying. It's a concrete thing. It's not some science fiction. This is not a science fiction. This is real people's life. And as I said, Grameen Bank gives $1.5 billion as loan every year. This $1.5 billion comes in the hands of the women. And they use it and give you back with interest. And still have money in there. And still have their deposits, their savings account in the bank. So that's the kind of...
And their lives have changed.
Changed completely, because if you have the money in your hand, your personality changes completely.
Absolutely.
You're no longer the same person anymore.
Now, are we ever going to be able to overcome poverty?
Sure.
I mean, in a realistic
Absolutely. If Bangladesh can reduce it by half by 2015, before that, coming from an extreme poverty situation, and here in Bangladesh we are saying we want to create Bangladesh in 2030 where not a single person will be poor person in Bangladesh. Not 2030. Not a single person in Bangladesh will be in poverty. If we can bring it to half, we can bring it to 0. It's a very simple logic. So we want to date that by 2030. And after that, we say we'll create poverty museums to show how was poverty. Because people will not see poverty anywhere. So the young people who are growing up, they say, what is this poverty you always talk about? What is this poverty we're reading in our books? I said, okay, we'll take you to the museum, show you. And they will feel disgusted seeing what human beings did to other human beings.
Are you realistic?
I'm absolutely realistic. It happens. It's not, even if I compare what it was when we started Grameen Bank in 1976 and today 2014, you go to the villages of Bangladesh, it's a completely different village, completely different people. Their children are educated, they have good homes, and so on. So it's in your lifetime you see that.
So we've been doing something very wrong. In Mexico, for example.
All over the world.
All over the world. I know it's not unique, but we've been doing something very, very wrong.
That's what I'm pointing out. That's what I'm showing, that look at it. And if you look at it, you say, this is a destructive thing, this is something which will make the society collapse. No, this will bring people together. Because in selfish business, you are isolating yourself from the rest of the society. In social business, you are bringing people together because you are doing things for them. So they come to you together and you enjoy it. Seeing things that you can do. You can remove poverty by social business. You can remove unemployment by social business. You can bring healthcare, another subject. Healthcare, I am repeatedly saying that healthcare can be brought to the most remotest person in a world-class way, almost costlessly. Today is possible. Technology is available to us. Simply we are not putting this technology in that direction because technology is being used to make money. Completely different direction. So whatever technology we have, they are manipulating how to make more money. You can make a simple gadget for your healthcare. It will be as simple as this, a little thing. But they will make a big thing out of it so that they can charge you a lot more for doing the same thing. Today with mobile phones, you can bring all the diagnostic services at your home at your time.
Education.
Education. Well. Everything is possible. But it will not go into the direction because technology is guided by the profit makers. They will use it for making profit. They are not using it for solving people's problems. And they make profit, they say, okay, we are solving problems too. Yes, it's a byproduct. It was not your intention.
But it happens.
It happens, yes, it also happens. But imagine if you could dedicate the whole technology to solve problems, how powerful that technology would be. So
now, you don't believe in assistance, is that right?
I'm saying the existing system is designed in the wrong way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't believe it.
But I mean, you don't believe in giving away money?
Giving away money is very important. I'm not make you misunderstand me. All I'm saying, when you do the charity, give away money, giving money away, you solve some problems. But if you solve the problem, but money doesn't come back. So you have one time use of your money.
And that's it.
That's it. So if you do it in the same way, in a social business way, create a business model out of it to do exactly the same thing. But you send the money, money does the job and money comes back. So you have endless use of your money. So money becomes very powerful. That's why the social business is so powerful.
Okay. Now tell me, you've been working and you've been in joint ventures with very big companies,
yes,
no?
Indeed, yeah.
Like Adidas, Danone. How was that?
They became interested in my in the way I'm explaining to people. They read my books. They got very excited about it. They started contacting me that how can we do social business? In the beginning, I was a little suspicious.
That's because that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, so whether they really, yes. I was trying to say, because I don't know them. They want to make money. I said, they underhandedly, they're trying to make money somewhere. So I tried to explain, look, there is no room for making money here, so you won't make any money. I said, no, we understand. I read your book and we understand it. That's what we want to do. Is there any way we can do that? So we became serious about it, started talking about it. So first thing we did with the Danone to create a business to solve the problem of malnutrition. Half the children of Bangladesh are malnourished. So we thought, let's try if we can bring something to address that issue. So we created a very special kind of yogurt. Put all the micronutrients which are missing in the children into the yogurt and make it very cheap, make it very delicious so that children enjoy eating it and they loved it. And when you take the profit motive, personal profit motive out of the business, suddenly cost of production comes down. Many of the things you do are not really necessary. It's just to encourage people to buy your stuff so that they get excited about buying it. You don't have to excite anybody because it's a genuine thing. You explain what it does and they buy it. You don't need any frills, any gimmicks, anything. So cost goes down. And we started selling it. People love it. Now that's one of the social business that we did jointly. And Danone is proud of it. Now Danone is doing it in many other countries. We have joint ventures with Uniqlo, which is a Japanese company. Which is
enormous.
Enormous company, huge company. Very simple thing we do with the Uniqlo.
Clothing for poor people.
poor people. Yes, that's it. So that poor people can clean clothes, decent clothes at a very, very small price. And then we produce sanitary pads, sanitary napkins for women in the villages. They never use sanitary napkins. They use dirty clothes and so on and so forth, and get infections and suffer so much. So we made a very simple, very easy to use, very cheap sanitary napkin, and sell it in the villages. In the beginning they don't understand what that is, but gradually when they get used to it, they love it, they use it. So that's our job. We didn't create those products, make money. Because if you wanted to make money, we would have designed it completely completely differently. We wanted to make sure we solve the problem of the people who needs this thing, kind of thing. So that's one of the things. So many other, like we have water company in Bangladesh to bring clean water in the villages, because our water has a big problem. Our underground water is arsenic contaminated. Our groundwater is, our surface water is polluted. So we created a joint venture company with Veolia, which is a French company, to bring clean water in the villages as cheap as we can do that, so that everybody can drink water with the payment of tiny little money, safe water. You don't have to hesitate. It comes to your doorstep and you can collect it in your jar. That's it.
So you've done very important things in your country.
That's the businesses that I created. As I was telling you, that all of them, each one of them is bigger than the other one. So, some are still small, but some are...
Always your ideas, or...?
Ideas come from all directions. You see somebody is doing it and sometimes you say, oh, it can be done. Can we do it in a social business way? Somebody did it in a charity way. So we said, can we do it in social business way? So we tried to create a model to do it social business. Yogurt was being produced in the world for many years. So it's not an invention. Invention in, can it be carrier of something which solves the problem of malnutrition? Can we put all the micronutrients and still make it delicious? Because if you put all those chemicals inside, it will taste very ugly. But if you have the knowledge of creating a special taste, which Danone has, they suppress the ugly taste and make it a very delicious taste. And children love it, and that became very important.
Let me ask you a couple of more questions. What do you think of concentration of wealth?
It's bad.
It's bad?
Sure. Because wealth means power. That's a very simple thing. So if you're when you say concentration of wealth, you're saying concentration of power. Very simple thing. So your wishes become the norm of the country, because that's what you wish.
Yeah, of course.
So
it makes you very powerful.
It's very powerful. So you influence everybody. You do things in your own way. So, and everybody's voice.
But it can make good for people also. I mean.
Which people? Those who missed it, or those who got it?
No, for the ones who missed it. No, the ones who got it, I think it's very good.
Yeah.
But the ones who missed it, I mean.
Well, how should it be good? I missed it. It belonged to me. Gradually, through many channels, it came from me. It went to somebody else, and they
again, because maybe you generate jobs again.
See? Why should you job?
Well, I was thinking.
I'm saying everybody is a job creator. So it's not. That's the fault of the system. That some people make the jobs. I said, no, that's not true. Everybody can create jobs.
Let me talk about having money is not bad. I mean, it's just that a lot of people should have a lot of money, or at least a lot of people should have money, not to have a good life, a good quality life. Do you agree?
I agree completely, but I would put it in a different way. I said, everybody can be whatever he wants to be, if the system allowed me to do that. The poor people, they had the power. They could earn income. They could improve their life on their own. But nobody gave them the little money that needed as a business. He's not asking for any charity or anything. So the system fails to deny. The system denies these people all the opportunities, all the facilities. These are available to the people on the top. And the top, once you get the facility, you get more facility. You get more. So you continuously doing things to bring a lot more.
We have to change the systems.
That's precisely what I'm arguing. If you change the system, nobody can accumulate.
And you can start in your own neighborhood.
Sure. You can. For example,
small society.
Absolutely. So anybody, you, me, anybody immediately can do. I can take 5 unemployed young people create a business to employ them, give them good jobs within my company. But I create this company not to make money for myself. I create this company so that these 5 young people are not lying there unutilized. They utilize themselves, run the business, and business earns enough money to pay them and return the money they have invested in them. Anybody can do that. It's not, as I said, it's very
not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's a simple thing. But we don't use that mind that way. We're always, when you say in business, which business should I do so that I can make a lot of money? See, our mind is a lot of money. When the stock market, which price is going up? That's all thing. And if you have money, lots of money, you don't have to work anymore. The money multiplies by itself. It goes on, keeps on rolling on, you see. So I have not contributed anything in making money. But just because I rolled it up. Machine, it's rolled it up. That's it. So that's the fault of the system that we have to address. And there are ways to address it. To sum up the thing that I have done, I'm saying this may be the way to address those issues.
And it's possible.
It's possible. Absolutely, it's possible.
You have the examples.
Absolutely. And you asked whether it's possible in the beginning, the poverty to be reduced. I am totally convinced that we can create a world where not a single person will be a poor person. It's possible. All you have to do is to start in one area, one region, one state, or one country, like we did.
And walk in that direction.
Walk in that direction. And ultimately, this is what we will end up going. And we can create a world where not a single person will be unemployed. In that world, when you say somebody is unemployed, everybody is worried. What is unemployment? They can't figure out why somebody will be sitting around. Is something wrong with him? He's sick? Is he disabled? Why is he unemployed? What is the word unemployment means? You are supposed to do your own thing. Is anybody stopping you? It doesn't make sense to anybody. But now that we live in this world where we are surrounded by unemployment, we think it's a natural thing. It is not natural. It's totally artificial.
Wow, I have a lot of thinking to do.
Think about your job.
I will.
Thank you. We'll start a business, joint venture business.
Yeah, let's do something.
Let's do something. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. Thank you. I've enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much. Do you have how many books and if
yeah, I'll give you a book. I just one I just brought with me.
Thank you. Are you a religious man or?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Okay. But you're very health oriented, I can see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That one will explain what the social business is all about.
Okay, great. I'm going to read it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.